Good morning. Today we're going to talk about the tenant screening application process. First, I'm going to throw up on the screen rental criteria. We've already done a section on establishing rental criteria. So hopefully you all now have a copy of your rental criteria that you can hand to every prospective tenant that comes in. They can read through and they can make sure that they are qualified. The second step is having them fill out a rental application. I'm going to throw up a rental application here. You can see the rental application has lots of information on it, including their name, their social security number, their birth date, their bank account information, where they work. Get as much of this information as you can. The more information that you get up front, the better you'll be to do a background check and to collect later on. There's a couple of very important statements down here at the bottom. Applicant represents that all of the above statements are true and correct and hereby authorizes verification. So this statement is required with the signature for you to do a background check. So make sure you get this statement and you have it signed. Here's another additional important statement. Applicant attests that all occupants of the apartment will be legal to reside in the United States. Why do you need this statement? Because the state of Utah requires that you don't knowingly rent to an illegal. And the way that you can protect yourself is ask everyone up front, make them attest that they are indeed legal to reside in the United States. And then you don't have to get into the potential fair housing issues of asking for visas and passports and that kind of awkward situation. If you do it here, you don't have to do it later. A couple other questions. Have you ever been arrested, convicted, accused of a crime against persons or property? It's not just convictions we care about. Arrests and charges also indicate risk. Have you filed a petition in bankruptcy? Have you ever been evicted? Do you smoke? Do you have any pets? If so, what kind? Are you on parole or probation? This last question isn't mean. It's designed to determine risk. People on parole or probation are about 2/3 likely to return to jail. So they're quite risky to rent to someone who might, in the next few years, not make their parole and be returned to jail. So people that you do rent to on parole or probation, it's wise sometimes to consider higher deposits or co-signers. There are some cities that give you incentives that reduce your fee if you do not rent to people on parole or probation. So if you're in a good landlord city, be aware of what the rule is there. And then there's a place to sign it. Once it's signed, you can run a background check. So I'm going to throw up now the entry screen for doing a background check. Right here is how you enter the information. The primary information that you're going to enter here is name, date of birth, social security number, and last known address. There's a few other things on here. Once you've done that, this next screen is going to be a completed background check. I'm not going to walk through the whole process with you now because we have another presentation on this, but this is where the information that you will need to know their risk is for the background check, both a credit and a criminal background. They're two separate reports, but they're included together with the UAA service. Okay, in conclusion, we first hand the applicant our application criteria, our rental criteria. Then we have them fill out the application. And before we accept it, we generally get an application fee. An application fee is what we are going to use to pay the cost of doing the background check. So make sure that you get an application fee so that you don't have to pay for the background. You make the applicant pay for the background. And then last, the deposit. It's important that you get a deposit up front so that you make the tenant or the applicant show that they're really serious. If I don't have to put a deposit down, what's to stop me from going today to 10 apartments and applying at 10 different places or for 10 different homes? It would waste at least 9 of the landlord's time. So landlords like to ask for a deposit in advance to make the applicant demonstrate they're serious. Also, if you've ever had somebody come to you and say, love your place, but I won't have money till a week from Thursday. What does that tell you about the applicant? That tells you that they don't have money when they need it. If they can't come up with deposit when they're looking for a place, they're unlikely to be able to come up with first and second and third month's rent. So be very careful that you don't rent to people who can't put down a deposit up front. That's a great screening tool. It's a great calculator of risk. So that is the application process. I hope you'll continue watching. Thank you.